Hi guys, it's exciting to have you guys for a chat on OTT Play. Welcoming Richa Chadha, Pulkit Samrat, and Manjot Singh for a conversation on OTT Play.
Thank
And
you.
it's been 10 years since Fukrey released. I want to brush up your memory and want to take you back to the time, Fukrey released in 2013. Uh, how was the euphoria around the film? I mean, it was crazy. How did you guys personally deal with that, the madness that Fukrey created?
How did we deal with it?
Yeah, the overwhelming response.
I mean, we were just surprised. We were happy that people were loving the film so much, and we were happy that हम सब North Indians, Delhi के लोग, Bombay आके, we've gotten to do a film with Farhan Akhtar, Ritesh Sidwani's company, and it's being promoted so well. And I remember in Fukrey one, Farhan came with us everywhere in the promotion, which was fantastic. He really, so हमारे लिए it was a very big deal being outsiders, trying to do this film, which looked like a really big film. And when it became a success, I think we all expected it to be successful, but so successful and 2 sequels nobody expected. So,
And we like before Fukrey, we've all, I'm sure, had that journey where we would go to the theater, we would watch a film, we would whistle for the stars on screen, we would cheer for the stars on screen, we would clap and we would hoot and shout when a certain character is doing something. So when we actually went to watch the movie in Gaiety Galaxy here, and that was the first time all of us experienced that happening for us while we are on the screen. And I think that is something which is just embossed and it's etched in our heart forever. That feeling of people cheering for you. I still remember when I was jumping from one roof to the other, when Honey was jumping from one roof to the other, people were just whistling and clapping and shouting, hey, ye apna londa, ye apna londa. It was just fantastic. And then Chucha comes with his antics and people are just falling on the floor, laughing out loud. Bholi would come and, speak in her tonality, the way she says her things, ki, pichwade mein haath dal ke nikal lungi apna pura paisa suit samet. That would turn out to be very exciting for people. We knew that we were hoping that people will connect to these characters. But when they connected to these characters to this extent, it was very overwhelming. And probably it has taken us even 10 years down the line. All of us are just very grateful and thankful that, this opportunity fell in our lap and we had the best support in terms of the production house and in terms of the team and the director and the writer that we got to work with and still get to work with. That makes it possible for us. Even for Lali, I remember when जब उसका cylinder चोरी हो जाता है, it is a tragedy. And while shooting, probably you will not even feel कि यार ये इस पे कौन हंसेगा? भाई मेरा cylinder देखा गया नहीं भाई मैं non-veg नहीं खाता. Huh? People were just laughing on that. And that real feedback that you get on ground in the theater, sitting in the last row, या फिर projection room से हम देख रहे थे while we were watching the first Fukrey, it was just mesmerizing.
And what about you, Manju? How did you take all the love that was pouring in for you when Fukrey released in 2013?
ऐसे he took it like this.
But obviously, as Richa Pulkit said, कि यार पता नहीं था कि इतनी बड़ी hit हो जाएगी film, will become a cult movie, and and the best part, वो एक achievement तब हुई सुन के कि लोग बोलते हैं कि यार आज ना तो किसी से लड़ाई हो गई, आज मूड ठीक नहीं है, तो हमने फुकरे देख ली, तो हमें मजा आ गया. तो आई थिंक ये सुन के ना बहुत खुशी होती है. लोग इतना प्यार देते हैं, अनकंडीशनल लव मिलता है ना एक फिल्म को, वो फुकरे को मिला है. एंड आई रिमेम्बर आई वाज इन दिल्ली जब ये फिल्म रिलीज हुई थी, बिकॉज आई वाज स्टेइंग इन दिल्ली एंड मेरी ग्रेजुएशन मैं कर रहा था उस टाइम पे. तो मैं मॉम डैड के साथ रैंडमली ऐसे चला गया अपनी फिल्म देखने. तो जब वो सीन आ रहे थे, पीपल वर शाउटिंग, मतलब पागल हो गए थे। और जब उन्हें पता चला कि मैं भी देख रहा हूँ, मतलब आप मानोगे नहीं, मुझे आई थिंक 2 घंटे की फिल्म होती है, मुझे 1.5 घंटा लगा एक्स्ट्रा हॉल से निकलने में। तो इतना प्यार मिला, इतना लोगों ने सपोर्ट किया, तो आई एम वेरी ग्रेटफुल टू पीपल, टू द ऑडियंस।
Yeah, that's true. I hope Fukrey 3 also creates the same magic with people amongst the audience and at the box office too. Fingers crossed. But talking about your respective characters, Bholi, Honey, and Lali, tell me which is the one quality of your respective characters that you personally want to imbibe in your real life.
Just that Bholi has no F's to give. What anyone? I would love to have that level of carefreeness. Hmm.
Pulkit.
Oh, matlab, I don't know, it might sound like a little weird, but quite a few things from my school days, from my college days. College mein bahut kam time ke liye gaya hu, but I would still like to say college days. Like from my school days and from my college days, because I feel in certain aspect, Honey has been very similar to Pulkit. Because he is a lot of I've always been the team guy. I would always take my gang along, and I would always be brainstorming कि अच्छा अब next क्या करें, अब इस चीज में क्या जुगाड़ लगाएं. So in that sense, I think Honey and Pulkit are very similar, where they do not go alone anywhere. They always have their gang and their friends along. पूरा फुकरा पार्टी लेके ही चलता है हनी. और उसी तरह मैं भी स्कूल टाइम से कॉलेज टाइम में पूरे अपनी फुकरा पार्टी लेके ही चलता था. और कहीं पे अटक गए तो आई वुड बी डूइंग द ब्रेन स्टॉर्मिंग इन द सेंस की अच्छा जाना उधर है, ये नहीं लग रहा तो ये जुगाड़ लगाते हैं या ये जुगाड़ लगाते हैं. सो आई हैव बीन वेरी जुगाड़ू. एंड
Since the
in
beginning.
terms of matlab I feel being an outsider coming from Delhi and to be able to sustain here and having a franchise like Fukrey even after 10 to 11 years in the industry, I feel इसमें बहुत जुगाड़ लगते हैं यार, ये कोई जुगाड़ू ही कर सकते हैं. So yeah, that's one quality I would definitely give myself as a very common thing with Honey.
And what about you, Manjot? The one quality of Lali जो आपको imbibe करनी है.
यार what I feel is लाली में जितनी क्वालिटीज हैं, जो भी है, वो मेरे में सारी हैं.
Hindi cinema of late is witnessing, its golden period at the box office, especially after the pandemic. Do you guys feel with Fukrey 3, is there an added pressure on you guys to kind of live up to people's expectations?
No, we are very confident.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think in terms of expectations, we ourselves are such big fans of Fukrey as a franchise and as a film that we would not come out with something that we ourselves as a team are not satisfied about कि यार हाँ ये justify कर रही है, it's worth a third part. And because audiences have been asking us for a third part, similarly we also have been asking Rig and Vipul and Ritesh and Farhan for the third part, and eventually it was served to us on a platter. Then we started adding our elements. So we are very, very excited to share it with people. Yes, there are expectations, but yeah, expectations were there for the second outing as well. And we are just very, as we said earlier, very anxieted about it.
Anxiety. The term that you guys have coined is very
Yeah,
exciting.
so that we are very excited about it because it's that mixed feeling, and we just can't wait for 28th September. Like he's counting 6 days. I cannot even wait for those 6 days. पिछले I think जब से announce करी है release date हमने, तब से हम लोग wait नहीं कर पा रहे to show it to people.
I actually think कि आप जो बोल रहे हैं the box office golden run at the box office by different films, I feel like the industry, anytime something bad happens, like bowler भी run up लेने के लिए पीछे ही जाता है. So I feel like in the film industry, people also, with the pandemic, the whole media landscape changed, everything happened. So everyone took a step back, kind of not understanding what will work. And now that we are slowly finding our way again and finding out how to entertain people again, I actually think instead of pressure, हमारा फायदा होगा from the point of view that people are going back to the theaters to watch an entertaining film. And Fukrey is a film best enjoyed with your Fukra friends, with your family, with your kids. You can take your kids and like laugh in the hall, and it's such a special feeling. I always wanted to do a film like, you know, when we were kids, जब हम जाते थे ऐसे देखने लगान या ऐसी कोई film जिसमें आप end तक आप में एक excitement बनी हुई है. It gives a message of hope and optimism. It pulls people together. I always wanted to be a part of a film like this, and I'm so grateful कि फुकरे एक ऐसी film है जो आप जिसके साथ आप ये सब चीजें कर सकते हो.
Correct. On that note, on a lighter note, I have a fun rapid fire that I want you guys to take up. Are you guys game for it?
Yes, but first,
Bring it on.
please clarify it to Mr. Manjot Singh. It's a rapid fire.
Okay, Manjot, it's a rapid fire.
Yeah.
इन्होंने warning
So
दे दी
if he
I
takes
cannot bring
more
it
than
on. Bring
if he
it
takes more than 10 seconds to answer, then he has to pay like 100 rupees per second of
हाँ, like
penalty
penalty
above
exactly.
10 seconds.
ठीक है,
ठीक
but
है, bro?
किसको पे करना होगा?
मुझे देना
Sorry?
है।
मुझ
अच्छा, okay.
अरे
किसको
तुझे
देना?
तू
तो
देने
कर
तो ये
तो
देने
देने
तो
तो
वाला है
वाला
नहीं,
है
तो क्या
ये.
पूछ रहा है?
ये 1.5 लाख रुपए हमें पुरानी शर्तों के वो करता है अभी तक.
Okay.
Just add it to the tab, bro.
Yeah, just add it to the tab.
Just GPay it.
GPay. Nice.
Okay, but we'll
अरे
start with
पे जी. Yes.
Richa, Manjot, and then Pulkit. One by one, you guys can answer. The first question is,
Awesome.
if you were stranded on a deserted island with any of your co-star, like one co-star, who would you choose and why?
Ali.
That's not the reason is
अली है नहीं
self-explanatory.
फुकरे 3 में.
ये
हाँ.
पार्ट 3 से बताना है. फुकरे 3 में से बताना है.
Ali नहीं तो Ali की याद के साथ I would be deserted, because if I'm alone with Honey, Bholi's blood will choocha, she'll probably drown him. And with Manjot तो पता नहीं क्या करेगी. पटाखे लगाए थे ना तेरी दुम में पार्ट 2 में. तेरी आंखें निकालू सबसे पहले. हिरनी जैसी प्यारी प्यारी.
प्यारी प्यारी.
Okay, Manjot, who would you choose?
I think पुलकित, क्योंकि फिर टेंशन नहीं होगी कि खाना कैसे खाऊंगा मैं. He'll arrange.
Bro, see, I told you, taking you for granted. हाँ.
Okay, Pulkit, who would you choose?
Me, I think I would like to be stranded with Pandit ji, because he's that, you know, धरती का इंसान. He knows वो इस जमीन पे
Nice.
खुद कुछ उगा के मुझे भी सिखा देंगे. आप ना चावल उगाएंगे, गेहूं उगाएंगे, पेड़ों को पानी देंगे. I'll be very happy. So we'll just probably I'll learn something new from him. How
About
to,
nature.
खेती बाड़ी भी. Yes. So that
Good one.
Discussion in the nature would be very interesting. That stay in the nature.
Good one, brother.
Okay, so the next question is one classic Bollywood film that you would want to remake with Pulkit and Manjot and vice versa.
For me, no?
Yeah, for you.
I
with
actually-
Pulkit and Manjot.
Pulkit and Manjot, I think with all of us, I would love to recreate one of my favorite films, which is Mr. India.
Oh,
है ना? बोली बन जाएगी Mogambo. I don't mind. I don't mind wearing a golden wig and becoming Mogambo, but I love Mr. India. I think it'll be a really, really fun thing to do. Again, children friendly.
Children friendly, yeah. Manjot, कौन सी पिक्चर बनाना चाहोगे, रीमेक करना चाहोगे आप with Richa and Pulkit?
I think अंदाज अपना अपना.
अच्छा.
अच्छा.
Yeah.
What would you give the reason?
I think वो already cult film है, but मुझे समझ नहीं आया बोलना क्या है, क्योंकि मैं 100 रुपए नहीं देना चाहता पुलकित को.
हाँ, इसलिए सोचा 10 सेकंड में आंसर दे देता हूँ.
साले कंजूस.
जो
100
आ रहा
रुपए
है
नहीं,
वो बोल दो.
100 करोड़ कर चुकी है तेरी पिक्चर और 100 रुपए नहीं दे सकता तू.
यार मैं तो इसलिए नहीं देना चाहता कि मैं सीखना चाहता हूँ कि रैपिड फायर जल्दी जल्दी कैसे करूँ मैं.
वो तेरे बस का नहीं, रहने दे. चलो.
अभी तक तो मैं जीत गया.
Moving on to Pulkit. Which Bollywood classic movie that you want to remake with your co-stars?
A Bollywood classic movie. If you're asking about Manjot and Richa together, मेरे
Yeah,
ख्याल
Manjot
से
and Richa.
yeah. So that would be any of the films from Rishikesh Mukherjee's repertoire. You know, because both of them are really endearing actors. They are too endearing on screen. You really connect with them. You really, you get the good vibes, and that is what his storytelling was all about. So I think both of them really fit, like, the correct pieces of puzzle in that particular genre and area. So yeah, and director should be Rohit Shetty.
No, that's interesting. That's interesting. Okay, the next question is, if what is the one embarrassing moment from the sets of Fukrey 3? Richa.
Embarrassing moment.
I mean, embarrassing from the sets of Fukrey 3.
Embarrassing.
Funny बता दो चलो.
Funny बता दो चलो.
Embarrassing.
फनी तो पूरी फिल्म है. फनी तो इतनी है फिल्म की that we had to stop to laugh many times.
आप 28 सितंबर को पूछना है ये बात. फनी क्या है?
वो तो मैं पिक्चर देख लूंगी ना. मुझे
वही I mean,
सेट
आप तब
पे
पूछोगे.
हाँ, set पे like one moment that you could recollect, like one funny moment.
Funny. I think the whole film, like when we were shooting in Delhi on the streets, na, that was very sweet actually, not funny. But क्या जनता जो हमें देखने आई थी, उनको हमारे किसी बहुत ही प्यारे से एडी ने या किसी ईपी ने उसको बहला फुसला कर उनको भी फिल्म का हिस्सा बना लिया. उनको पोस्टर्स पकड़ाए, बैनर्स पकड़वाए. तो मुझे वो चीज बहुत अच्छी लगी, प्यारी लगी कि वो लोग इतने दिल से हमारे साथ जुड़ गए. कोई बोल रहा है कि हमारे घर खाना खाने आ जाओ, कोई बना के ला रहा है कुछ खाने के लिए. It was really sweet. And we really felt the true love of Fukrey in the hearts of the people of Delhi, especially. पूरी दुनिया में फुकरे के लिए प्यार है, पर दिल्ली वाले फुकरे को बहुत क्लेम करते हैं, उनको क्लेम करते हैं. जैसे दिल्ली वाले शाहरुख खान को क्लेम करते हैं ना कि हमारा है, वही वैसे ही फुकरे को क्लेम करते हैं.
Yeah, that's it. Manjot, आप बता दो another moment that you recollect.
मैं दे दूंगा 100 रुपए.
Pulkit.
There's a certain location where we had to shoot. The temperature was around 49 degrees, and literally 49 degrees. That's the first time I experienced 49 degrees. होता है real life में, okay? And we had to climb down some 2,500 feet ka drop, okay? And there is just this much space to walk. Literally only like one human can walk at a particular time, and that too ऐसे bend करके, क्योंकि ऊपर से लेके नीचे तक सिर्फ इतनी ही जगह है. आप पहाड़ों के बीच में से, चट्टानों के बीच में से ऐसे चल के जा रहे हैं. Then you climb down. Every single person on the set was carrying some or the other equipment in their hands, over their shoulders. Lightmen लगे हुए हैं, सारे actors लगे हुए हैं. That was probably the best example of teamwork that I experienced. And that is what told me that this is why Fukrey is Fukrey, because every single soul on the set literally shed their blood, their sweat, all their heart they put into this film. And that is why Fukrey becomes what it becomes.
Of course. And the final question, which is the one hilarious fan encounter related to your Fukrey characters? Like, किसी ने आपको समझा कि भोली हो आप real life में, and has walked up to you and कुछ funny चीज कर दी हो.
फनी एक्चुअली ये पार्ट 2 के बाद मेरे साथ हुआ था. मैं एयरपोर्ट में थी, तो मुंबई एयरपोर्ट जो गेट नंबर 8 है उसके पास यू एंटर. वहाँ आई वाज गोइंग अब्रॉड समवेयर. तो जो भी होती है सीआरपीएफ या जो भी यूनिफॉर्म्ड मैन हु आर चेकिंग ऑल द बैग्स एंड ऑल दैट. सो मैं अपना बैग रखा और मैं तो मतलब सुबह अर्ली फ्लाइट थी. वन ऑफ देम डिड समथिंग लाइक दिस. तो एंड तो For a second, I was like, "कि shit, क्या हो गया बैग में?" Then I'm like, "Sir, lighter नहीं है, बैटरी नहीं है, वो चार्जर नहीं है." He was like, "अरे भोली मैडम, हमारी दुम में पटाखे ना लगा दियो."
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and it was, you know, imagine someone was with me, a man in uniform is saying this. It was really funny. And it was cute, you know, अच्छा लगा मुझे कि वो लोग भी फिल्म देख के enjoy कर रहे हैं.
Of course.
Hmm.
Manjot.
यार फॉर मी स्पेशली व्हेन आई गो टू दिल्ली तो ना वहां पे या कहीं पे भी इवन इन बॉम्बे तो मेरे को ना पीछे से आवाज आती है, अरे लाली भाई बुलेट की टंकी वापस मिल गई क्या? अरे लाली भाई सिलेंडर मिल गया क्या? तो ये सुन के बड़ा मजा आता है, बहुत हंसी आती है। यू नो लोग इतना रिलेट करते हैं उस कैरेक्टर्स को, वो जब सीन्स देखते हैं तो उनको बड़ा मजा आता है, क्योंकि ये डेली प्रॉब्लम्स हैं लाइफ की, तो उस चीज से बहुत लोग कनेक्ट करते हैं।
And finally, Pulkit.
So, actually, while I was shooting for Made in Heaven, we were shooting in France. And you see the reactions in our own country, you see the reactions in the most strong centers where the film works. But to get a reaction of this kind in a place, this was a French guy working at a French brand store, and he gave me so many extra goodies. He, kind of got champagne also for me. It was like, it wasn't even a luxury boutique. It was a random store where I was treated just like the family member over there, only because they loved the song Ambar Sariya.
Oh.
And the
Wow.
French, I was like, how are French people even understanding what is happening in Ambar Sariya? But yeah, they would listen to that song, they would watch the video, and they knew that it was me. They called me Ambar sir, something of that sort. They couldn't even pronounce it well, but I could still translate the love that they were showering towards me. So that was really, 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 really sweet.
Yeah, that's. On that note, Richa, Manjot, and Pulkit, thank you so much for doing this conversation. I love the energy levels that you guys had throughout the chat. I wish you all the luck for Fukrey 3 that releases on September 28th.
Thank you.
Nirali.
Thank you so
much.
much.
Thank you.